Now let's connect to our Cheonji correspondent Hwang Hojun. Hojun, we do hear that President Moon Jae-in and Kim Jong-un, the North Korean leader, will be visiting Mount Baekdusan together tomorrow. What do you have for us at this point?
Well, Daniel, if we said before that there aren't that many factors that would surprise us reporters here at the Seoul Media Press Center during the third Inter-Korean Summit this year, well, the Blue House spokesperson Kim Eui-kyeom's abrupt announcement this afternoon about President Moon's itinerary tomorrow, well, that proved us wrong. Take a listen.
President Moon Jae-in and Chairman Kim Jong-un will visit Baekdusan Mountain together tomorrow. Chairman Kim suggested a visit, which President Moon accepted.
The announcement elicited probably the loudest exclamations from the reporters here at the Seoul Media Press Center. According to poll reports on the Q&A the spokesperson had in Pyeongyang soon after the announcement, the two leaders will head to the southern summit of Baekdusan via a cable car, and if weather permits, they will also head down to Cheonji, the crater lake on top of the mountain. The First Ladies, the South Korean delegation, and the pool reporters are also expected to accompany the two leaders, and they will all return back to Seoul from the Samjiyon airport, the closest airport from the mountain. Tomorrow's visit to Baekdusan Mountain will be the dream come true for President Moon. I'll remind you, the South Korean president said to his North Korean counterpart in April during the first Inter-Korean Summit that he wishes to visit the mountain from the North Korean side and that he hopes Kim Jong-un would make his wish become a reality. He reiterated his dream of climbing the mountain as soon as he arrived in Pyeongyang while still on the plane as well.
Well, Hojun, definitely something to look forward to tomorrow for everyone here watching as well. So let's talk about the declaration that was signed between the two leaders earlier today a little bit. Senior Presidential Press Secretary Yoon Young-chan gave a recap of the agreements earlier in the afternoon.
Correct. He underscored the Pyongyang Declaration, talks about the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula, improving the inter-Korean relations, and also de-escalating military tensions. He stressed that Pyongyang expressed its willingness to destroy the Yongbyon nuclear site, calling it North Korea's practical determination for denuclearization that would end the era of war and open a new era of peace and co-prosperity. This was probably aimed at the U.S. government, which has raised concerns about North Korea's willingness to actually follow through the denuclearization process. The U.S. has demanded Pyongyang prove its commitment, such as providing a list of its nuclear facilities. North Korea, in return, demanded that an official declaration ending the Korean War must come first. The conflict led to the sudden cancellation of U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo's planned visit to Pyongyang in August. Yoon said President Moon will brief his U.S. counterpart, President Trump, on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly next week on both the disclosed and confidential results. That is set to take place next Monday. And finally, regarding North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's promise to visit Seoul by the end of this year, Yoon was wary about jumping to any conclusions, such as an official declaration to end the Korean War then. But he said the fact of a North Korean leader physically visiting the South Korean capital holds great significance for inter-Korean relations and the security landscape of East Asia. Now, just to give you some updates from the additional footages coming in, the two leaders and their wives attended a luncheon at the Ongryeo restaurant, famous for its Pyeongyang cool noodles. And while no confirmation has been made yet, President Moon should have had dinner by now. He was scheduled to eat at a local restaurant called Taedonggang Seafood restaurant where Pyongyang residents are known to commonly dine. The South Korean president is also scheduled to watch North Korea's signature mass game, quote, Brilliant Fatherland, where we can expect President Moon to give a short speech, which will also be, it will likely be broadcasted live. Daniel?